Hey, all, and we are back streaming, just checking all the bars and all that stuff. Everything seems to be working fine. The voice is coming through, the music's coming through, which will be a good time. Beto Dad, how's it going, man? Welcome to the stream. It's Halloween. Halloween's a spooky time, and unrelated to being spooky, I guess. If we manage to get some games in, I'm still preparing for War Cries in the West, which is in just over 2 weeks now. So Sylvaneth is what I'm taking. Sylvaneth are kind of in the theme of spooky, right? Like Sylvaneth are like ghost trees, right? Like spectral, phantasmal foliage, right? That fits Halloween. So if I manage to sneak in a cheeky game, it'll be with some Sylvaneth again, just trying to get as much practice in as possible before I go and play with Sylvaneth in a competitive environment held by friend of the channel and patron, of course, and Andy, and his rather wonderful pack. Andy's pack's kind of hardcore in a really good way. It's so much fun to play. So I'm looking forward to playing that pack again because they played that pack in Storm in the South in Southampton during the summer also. So it's good that he's got his own tournament going now. I believe he's running the same pack. It'll be a good time. And hopefully I won't lose my first 2 games in this one. Because it was a rough start of that event. I finished pretty solid. I think I finished like 11th overall. Despite the poor start. But it was definitely a rough start. And cool. So, in the spirit of Halloween, I actually decided to finally start building Sylvaneth. So obviously I'm taking Sylvaneth to War Cries in the West. However, I have not been building any of it for a while. I've owned the warband that I've been practicing with for about 2 months. But I've not actually built most of it. Which has been part of the issue, I guess. It's been part of the issue. But I decided to sit down this afternoon, and I am 1 model away from being done. So I've got 1 more Kernoth Hunter to go, and honestly, I am truly shocked at how smooth it was to build these hunters. Because they're quite large models, right? They're on 50mm bases, they're quite large, they're quite tall. They're ornate in their own way, and they're covered in like little branches and trees. I was a little bit concerned it would be a nightmare to build, especially when 3 Kernoth Hunters come over 3 sprues. Right, so there's a lot of bits to them, in theory. It was super smooth. It was one of the smoothest builds I've done for Games Workshop in quite a while. So top marks for Kernoth Hunters. The only issue I had was that some of the fiddlier tree bits were a little bit shaky and almost snapped, being removed from the sprue, but nothing actually did snap, and everything's all fine. So that's pretty good. I've got 1 more Kernoth to do, and that's the warband done, and then I can procrastinate for another week before I start painting them, and then rush them all last second in preparation. So that's the plan there. So I managed to get some building done. The list is on the way. But in celebration of Halloween, I guess, I should probably talk about some spooky things in Warcry. Death springs to mind, Nighthaunt spring to mind, Soulblight Gravelords always spring to mind when it comes to death and Halloweeny. But if there's anything anybody wants to talk about specifically, then drop that in the chat. We'll have a natter, we'll get it going. I am just throwing into the online chat Discord as well. So if anyone wants a game, of course, drop it into the Discord, drop it into the chat here. I'll boot up some TTS and we're going to have a good time. Hang on, I am streaming if anybody wants to pop on and whoop my ass live on TV. Sorted. We have that up and running, and we are good to go. So I think whilst we're waiting for people to flow in, let's have a little look at some death stuff, some spooky stuff, some spooky boys. And I think Nighthaunt have sort of caught my attention recently. because Nighthaunt are weird. Right, they're obviously very good. But in relation to my terrain video, my how to win more Warcry video that I did this week, that was, I think, a fairly solid video that went over, of course, terrain and how you can overcome obstacles. Hey Doug, how's it going? Overcome obstacles like incredible stat blocks and murder hobos by utilizing terrain in the best way possible. And this is very true. Hence why I had many examples in that video that are working that way. But this also got me thinking after True, friend of the channel True, commented on that video saying that he plays Nighthaunt for this very reason. And yeah, if you want to be the masters of terrain, I think the obvious thing that springs to mind is play Corvus Cabal. Optimal Game State, how's it going, man? I think, like, you know, Corvus Cabal spring to mind for like the most terrain dependent or terrain loving warband in the game. But frankly, Nighthaunt, I think, gives them a run for their money. Simply because the whole feckin' warband is bare minimum movement 6 and okay, movement 5 and fly. I think if you've got the Briar Queen stuff, they're all movement 5. But ignoring Briar Queen, they're still movement 5, but like it's movement 5, movement 6 with fly. And when terrain is such a powerful component in your tool belt, one of the best ways to use terrain is to ignore it when you want to use it, right? Like getting into position to utilize, to get in a position to execute your plan that utilizes some powerful bits of terrain that are blocking line of sight, that are making choke points, that are making little corridors, all that kind of thing, right? Being able to get there effectively is part of the struggle. And nothing does it better than Nighthaunt, because they ignore all the terrain getting there. They can go up to elevated terrain, get some verticality in their gameplay with zero hassle. They are devilishly fast at movement 6 and fly base. And also going to that same video, I mentioned that if you aren't running enough terrain, then you are going to struggle when those big smashy things come to play, because you're then taking that sort of like that analysis vacuum that we all like to operate in and then putting that directly onto the tabletop, right? Where big stats are just really good. And when you look at Nighthaunt cost, okay, like the Nighthaunt aren't that good in terms of raw stats, right? Their basic chaff, 8 wounds, 70 points. T4 is nice, right? But 3-3-1-2, these are fairly expensive models that aren't that durable with pretty awful melee stats. For your basic chaff, right? They're fine, they're absolutely fine, but they're only really good if you have the terrain to make use of their movement, to make use of their fly, right? So terrain's a huge factor, and Nighthaunt are the masters of just being a pain in the ass. There's a wonderful game between Phylax and Off-Meta Musings on Off-Meta Musings channel. It was Star Soul Mace Paladins against, I believe it was a 7 or 8 man Nighthaunt list. Phylax running Paladins and Off-Meta running the Nighthaunt. And that game was brutal because of just how effectively the Nighthaunt were able to move around the board and avoid encounters, right? Like lure those Paladins towards locations and then relocating aggressively to other parts of the board where the Paladins can't get there fast enough. It was a masterclass in moving and operating with movement and fly, and that's fantastic. And I think that's the most interesting aspect of the Nighthaunt, because sadly, beyond that, their abilities are really boring. So I love abilities. I think abilities are sort of the lifeblood of most warbands. But I think actually the Nighthaunt are not that. I think the lifeblood of Nighthaunt is their mobility. Their abilities is their mobility. Sorry, their abilities are pretty bland, because you've got like Dread Aura -1 strength, Soul Mark Prey +1 strength. Like Harrowing Shriek is a net, but it's on a triple. It's like a bad net, right? Frightful Touch is amazing. We all know that though. But it's like, so all your basic abilities are kind of naff. Then you got their leader abilities. Stolen Hours is fantastic, but like Phantasm of this corporation is great as well. But Settings Eternal Torment, Spectral Alchemy, Captured Soul Energy, pretty naff. Of course, the Summon's great as well. Howling Vortex can be okay, but Briar Queen's not hugely taken anymore. And of course, you've got the charge on the wielder of the blade. But that really just boils down to generic death heal, resurrection, a teleport on one guy if you want even more mobility, and damage, right? It's like 4 or 5 abilities that are all fairly expensive, and yeah, right, like most of this stuff is not really worth thinking about, which is a bit of a shame. But that doesn't really matter, simply because of their wonderful mobility tricks, and their damage is also surprisingly high. When you look at obviously the Night Shrouds, that 4424, when you start factoring in Frightful Touch, it's actually a 4-4, 4-4, because all your crits become hits, all your hits become crits, sorry. If you're playing pure Nighthaunt, if you move into combat, you're getting that wonderful +1 strength, which also, by the way, like more or less negates the need for the likes of, like, was it Soulmark Prey to get +1 strength? You're getting +1 strength anyway just by playing Nighthaunt on their battle trait, right? So like a whole ability has been made more or less redundant from that. Then you've got things like Spectral Alchemy being more or less invalidated by the fact that Frightful Touch exists. And yeah, you can like maybe build around giving everybody +1 damage, not one guy that hits into crits. But in general, you'd want that immediate benefit as opposed to that like low tempo, from now on, you're vulnerable to death. Just kill them, right? Is usually the way to go. Frightful Touch also makes Blessing Nighthaunt super easy because it's either gives them +1 attack, if you want to spend loads of points, or just gives them +1 to their crit, and you have some wonderful damage increase on all the stats. For me, I'm a huge fan of the Knight of Shrouds and Ethereal Steed in death in general. This guy's insane. He's so good at 250. At 250, movement 10 fly with a resurrect, with a really powerful heal. With Frightful Touch, my guy just eats things up, and he never dies. I don't think I've ever had my Knight of Shrouds die. I think ever. Not that I can remember anyway. This thing just tanks for days. And people don't really want to attack him, right? If you attack him, he's a waste of time. He's a pure distraction. It's what I use for my video on Gambits to turn to deployment dump, right? Lob this guy into their turn 2 and just distract like 3-4 guys. And if you die, you die. It doesn't really matter. But like, he's not really going to die though. He's got too many wounds and he heals. Like mega. It was like an incredible amount of reliability. Dude's insane. If you're playing lots of treasure missions, then the Dreadblade Harrow is also great. Dreadblade Harrow having a teleport and also movement 10 and fly. He has my favorite way of winning treasure missions. So how you would do it is, with treasure missions, the goal is to more or less have one more treasure than your opponent, right? Which is fairly easy to do with a Dreadblade Harrow, because what you do is, typically on a 5 treasure mission, you would have 2 near your deployment, 2 near your opponent's deployment, and 1 in the middle. So all you do is, the moment you start, take that Dreadblade Harrow, you fly the 20 inches you need to get to, take one of their treasures in their side of the board, and then teleport back to your side of the board. And then you've basically won, right? That's basically it. You take your 2 treasures on your side of the board, you castle up, and that's basically game. It's difficult to get through a castle of a whole warband, right? And they've got to then, of course, trudge across the whole battlefield to get to you. You've basically won from that point. It's a bit cheesy, but there ain't much they can do about it. I've actually seen people take 2 Dreadblade Harrows, and they got a double triple on 2 triples on turn at turn 1. They flew up, took their treasure, teleported back. They then took their own treasure on their side. He then took the middle one as well, just for shits. And then he had 4 treasures to 1, basically by the end of turn 1. And there was just nothing they could do. It was rather silly. So the Dreadblade Harrow is cheaper than Net Shrouds. He's a lot easier to kill, mind you. He doesn't have that heal. He's got less wounds as well. But he is situationally an absolute masterpiece of bullshittery. I absolutely love this guy. Alexi Weber. Hi, any plans on making Gloomspite Gits guides? My wife really wanted to play them, and I'm kind of lost with them. Yeah, I've been thinking about it. My main issue with it is that there's such a large faction, right? Like they're huge. There's so much to them, being one of the larger factions. But they did get a whole bunch of buffs in the last update. And in fact, I'll probably go over them next. Once I'm done rambling about the Nighthaunt, I'll hop on a Gloomspite because I'm a big fan of Gloomspite. Hey, Practical Rice, how's it going, man? We are currently talking about the Nighthaunt, the legends of the Nighthaunt. And again, as per usual, this is a Nattering and Battering live stream. I was going to say podcast, it's a live stream. So if you want a game on TTS, drop a message and I will boot up Steam and we'll throw some dice. It'll be a good time. Is that Thralls? Thralls for Gits are essential. I agree, actually. I think there are enough good Thralls, so Destruction Thralls are Trogs, right? There's enough good Trolls in and around Gloomspite that I think not taking any of them is often a mistake. I think they're really, really good. The Krulgrass Cruciate is fine in Nighthaunt. Like, Often Musings really likes it because it's just a good resurrection caddy that's fast, has good threat projection, can chip things away. It's fine. Like, it's cheap, 205, durable. It can resurrect things. It can chip things away from distance. Like, 8 shots a turn isn't too shabby. Don't worry. English being your first language is absolutely fine. But yes, Trolls are rather wonderful in Gloomspite. Hellwraiths are great as well. If you want a really cheap beater, the Hellwraith is great. You give him +1 strength because then you move him in and you attack. Right, with Frightful Touch. He's got 12-inch threat range. Because he's got the Destroyer rune mark, he goes to 5 attacks, strength 5. So it's a 5-5-4-4 with that blessing plus your battle trait plus Destroyer rune mark. 5-5-4-4 is basically pick something and then either cripple it or kill it outright. It's kind of spicy. Spirit Torment is not great, frankly. I am not a fan of basic Net Shrouds. I think he's too squishy. I'd rather pay the extra 70, 80 points and get the extra wounds in the movement buff. I think at 20 wounds dies too easily, and it isn't quite as effective. And the rest are kind of pants, frankly. Like the one exception being the Lord Vitriolic, because he's got a lot of wounds at 140. Just look at him. Like, the things around him have less wounds, substantially so in some cases, and are more expensive or are cheaper, right? So, yeah, the Craven Huntmaster is cheaper, but has 10 wounds less. It's rather silly. The Lord Vitriolic is kind of insane. He's also uniquely movement 8, not movement 6 or movement 10. Kind of weird. He's a solid bloke. His ability is kind of pants, but he's a good resurrection caddy. Usually found outside of Nighthaunt. And then beyond that, frankly, you kind of ignore everything else. It's not even that much of an exaggeration. Spirit Hooks are great for 170, 6-3, 1-3 with Destroyer. Again, remember, you're moving into combat, so you're moving in, popping a Frightful Touch. You'll likely give this thing +1 strength or +1 crit. With Destroyer, with your rune mark, they're going to a 7-4 or a 7-5-3-3 or a 7-4-3-3. No, 7-5-3-3 with strength, or a 7-4-4-4, which is again incredible amounts of damage. And with 28 wounds. They just don't die. They're durable, they're bulky, they do damage when they need to, and they are nice and cheap. Hex race are fine as well. And then really you just go down to the chaff. Take chain rasp, take a few chain rasps and you're good to go. They're the cheapest thing you can take, and they're absolutely fine. Fast and a pain. Toughness 4 will come up more than you would ever imagine. They survive a little bit more than they should, which is always funny. Briar Queen's fine. And of course, the wield of the blade is wonderful. 2, 5, 3, 6. Always give this guy +1 attack. Goes to a 3, 5, 3, 6. He loves things like Frightful Touch. So he goes to a 3, 5, 6, 6. If he's moving in, of course, he goes to a 3, 6, 6, 6. And he just kills guys. If you've got like 12 wounds, right, like a 12 wound guy, the wield of the blade will likely kill you. If you are like 20 plus wounds, he will likely kill you if he's already in combat with you. This guy's kind of insane. He's a bit of a murder stick. You'd also maybe take a sharpener of the blade. Again, he's just cheap, and he's got a really funny profile. Like 1 attack, 1/6 damage. I have seen people meme and use Frightful Touch on this guy to go to a 1/3 to a 1/3/6/6. In those Hail Mary desperation plays. I don't recommend it, but it's always funny when you do it, so always worth considering. But yeah, Nighthawk are fun. I think it's hard to look at their abilities and see, these are really fun. And when you look at most their units are kind of naff, it's also quite hard to go, yes, these are good. But they're actually really good. It's all about that mobility, though. It's all their mobility and their burst damage and their durability, thanks to heals and resurrects, which is kind of funky. Now, Alexi wanted me to look at Gloomspite. Gloomspite. I can't spell Gloomspite. I still can't spell it. Gloomspite. There we go. And Gloomspite are, unfortunately, incredibly complex. Just on the sidebar alone, they have 1, 2, 3, 4. They have 4 Bladeborn, and also Borgit's Beast Grabbers, who aren't Bladeborn, but function essentially as Bladeborn in the context of an actual Gloomspite kit list. Not to mention, they also have the entirety of what they're called again, Boggle Eyes crew, the Gobapalooza. So they've actually got 6. You got those 5 plus Gobapalooza as just things you can take, and they also just have just so many abilities. We're still going, and just so many units. It just goes on and on and on forever, right? This is an insane amount of content for a single faction. And this doesn't include Gobapalooza. That's somewhere else. It could honestly be put in here as well. I'm surprised it's not. But could absolutely be in here as well, just as stuff you can take. It's insane. So how do you even pass any of this? And the answer is with great difficulty. Age of Sigmar names drive me mad. They drive me mad too. But at the very least, goblin names are funny, so they can get away with it, right? The Gloomspite names, I can't speak today. The Gloomspite names are at least funny. And Gloomspite, I think, have entered a place of mild competitive viability. I think they've got enough changes in the last FAQ that have really just pushed them into a place of just a genuinely good place. Before this, they were like a fun pick that could do well, but it was a bit of an uphill struggle. And now I think they're actually in a pretty solid place. But how do you break them all down? And frankly, I don't even know. Grumpy Guard, take a gander at the Vulcan Flameseekers. I will look at them next, Grumpy Guard. You're having I cannot speak today, Jesus Christ. You're having an existential crisis with them, yeah. I've seen you, we've had a few games where the Vulcan Flameseekers haven't been too hot. But I'll look at them because I'm a huge fan of them. normally. So when you're looking at the Gloom Spite, it really is just like trying to find what isn't worth thinking about. Just easier said than done. So for example, I had to break it down into little guys, big guys, and mobility guys. Right? Because there's so much you can't look at all at once, in my opinion. It's very difficult to look at all at once. So for mobility, you'll typically find all these right at the top because they're also your most expensive guys. And I am quite a big fan of the Snarlpack boss. I haven't seen him be played, but he's a solid bloke. The Snarlfang boss also comes with a Slavering Jaws, which lets them make a bonus move action and get quite tough, which is fine, right? It's on a double to get an extra move action, so it's fun. So this thing is movement 8, which is wonderful. 28 wounds is nice and high. Toughness 5 is fine. 4-5-3-4 is the best profile you will find on a goblin. He is mounted, which is an issue, but one of the cool things about goblins is that they never need to move into combat because of your reaction, right? So the reaction is what you really want to try to play around whenever you can. And that is Pylon. So with Pylon, the trick is, if something moves next to a inconsequential goblin, use Pylon to launch a big thing into them. There is no range on it. It has infinite range to the thing you can pick, as long as that thing can move within 1 inch of the enemy that made the initial move, which is absolutely fine. So when you look at that mobility stuff, the Snarlpack boss is fantastic. It moves 8, so something moves next to an inconsequential goblin, that thing reacts, and the Snarlpack boss moves in for free, and then it gets to attack 8 times at strength 5-3-4 damage. It's a good time, but everything loves this, right? The Loon boss and Giant Cave Squig has less damage, which is why I've sort of fallen out of favor. Like, I used to like the Loon boss and Giant Cave Squig a lot. Often blessed with damage, but I think the Snarlpack boss tends to take my eye a bit more now, just because of just the raw stats are better, basically. I'll either give him +1 strength, an extra attack, or +1 crit based on how many points I've got, and he works wonders. The Loon boss, the Squighopper boss, and the Bounder boss are all fantastic picks though, because they are movement 8 with fly, so they can get around the board and ignore things that the Snarlpack boss can't ignore, which is important to remember. The Scuttle boss is fine. He's fine. He's slightly more. He's a nice in between. He's slightly more expensive than the Squighoppers and the Bounders. He's fast. He's not mounted, which is very important. He's not mounted. His issue is that the Hopper bosses all get Madcap Destruction, which gives them fantastic mobility outside of the reaction. The Scuttle boss is fine though. I would give him like +1 strength, maybe +1 damage. It's a hard sell. The model's also really old and in resin, so it's pretty hard to get your hands on. Alexi, list I mastered for my wife: Swamp Troll, 3 shooters, a Loon boss, a Rock Lobber. A Rock Lobber? Bounder, Shroom Shaman, 2 nights. What's a Rock Lobber? Is there artillery in Gloomspite? What's a Rock Lobber? I know now. Hang on, let's actually get this punched into the actual thing. Loon boss. I'm a big fan. I'm actually a big fan of Loon bosses. I think they're really fun. So a Loon boss, a Shroom Shaman. So a fungoid cave shaman, I imagine. Man with a rock. Man with a rock. I am. Hang on. Is that? Try to find them. Man with a rock. I am Unable. Is it Scholar and Pronk? It's a Scholar and Pronk. Man with rock. The rock lobber. I can't quite pin it in my head as what it could be. We'll put the rest in, so it's what, 2 shooters? 3 shooters? Oh, a fanatic! Right, okay. My apologies. Fanatic. A bounder. 2 netters. All over the shop, yeah. 2 netters and a bounder. I still got... I do take them out. Blind grab bounder. And a swamp troll. So a fellwater troggoth. Fellwater. Bada bish. Okay, so let's have a look. Let's have a gander at it. So with it's a 10-man warband, which is nice and chunky. Always love to see it. Let's look at their abilities. Of course, nets. Stab them good. Roll dice. Oh, okay. Magic Spore Moss is pretty fun. I like that a lot. Yeah. Okay. As a list, it is kind of funky. I am a fan of having shooters in goblins now. Because the shooters, they used to be, I think, 70 or 75 points. They weren't worth it at that point. At 60 points, though, they're fairly effective ways of doing chip damage safely. They've only got 6 wounds, so they do die. But a 12-inch threat range, they can just stay back on home objectives and just pepper away and do a bit of cheeky chip. Maybe take out a guy who's on low wounds. Having the Bounder for Madcap, having the Loon Smasher for Madcap. Love it. Big fan of that. The Stabbers for nets. Also great. Having 2 is absolutely fine. I think you can maybe stretch to 3 in a pinch, but I think 2 is absolutely fine. And the Fellwater. I think the Fellwater was slept on for a while. But I think the Fellwater is actually really good. The Troll Vomit is quite strong. I like it a lot. And healing itself, 28 wounds, nice and burly, 4-5-2-5 is a solid profile. And Loon Bosses are also really fun. You don't see them too often, but I really like I'm the boss, now stab him good. When you can pull this off, having a 6-inch bubble aura of potentially plus 6 attacks on all your guys is hilarious. It doesn't affect the Fellwater Troggoth, which is a shame. But the Loon Smasher, going up to 9 attacks is kind of hilarious. I think it's just melee attacks, right? Yeah, sadly. If only the shooters could benefit from it. That would be funny. Alas, I can't. I think the list is fine. I think my main concern with it depends on how competitive you want to get, of course, right? If you're playing with your wife, I suspect it's not hugely competitive. But this is a solid start. I think it has the mobility, which I love, of the Bounder. The fact that I believe the Gloomspite reaction, it can't pick the Trog, which is always annoying. It's always annoying when you can't pick the Trog. But you can pick the Boy and Grab Bounder, get hit and move in for free. The Loon Smash is fantastic. The shooters are fun. There's definitely pieces of this list that work. That I think that can definitely work, especially when you're at that 10-man. You've got a lot of leeway at 10-man to sort of just mess around and do what you want to do. My concern is that the Fellwater Troggoth is kind of taking away... It doesn't synergize quite as well because of... yeah, okay, it's casual. That's absolutely fine. I think with the Fellwater Troggoth is great. I'm a big fan of it, but I think it's always a struggle for me because I really like that battle trait. So the battle trait for the Gloomspite it's a load of fun, right? It's a load of fun because it lets you just mess with dice, right? The Bad Moon Rises is such a fun ability. It helps with very few things, frankly, on your side. I think like Madcap's the big one. But being able to potentially like spike a quad 1 into a quad 6 or nerf their quad 6 into a quad 2 or whatever, you can completely just balk their plans or enhance your plans. It's always a good time with Bad Moon Rises, and the Fellwater Troggoth kind of shuts that down, which is a little bit sad. Things that I really enjoy, though, I think can be taken as a alternative to a Fellwater Troggoth. I think it always just boils down to Mollog, and Mollog's a lot more expensive, right? Like Mollog at 290 is 115 points more expensive or something than a Fellwater Troggoth, but Mollog's great. Mollog has all the wounds in the world, nice and durable at toughness 4, toughness 5 even, sorry. Got the range 2, which is lovely, and 2, 6, 5, 10 is such a devastatingly high profile. Give him +1 attack if you want to with blessings for a 3, 6, 5, 10. Mollog is going to town, and unlike the Fellwater Troggoth, the Loon boss can buff Mollog with attacks from I'm the boss now, stab him good, and he also benefits from the reaction. So when things move nearby, Mollog gets to move for free. And Mollog getting free moves is amazing because getting into combat with 3 attacks on your profile or even just 2 attacks on your profile and swinging twice with a 5-10 profile, it really just defends your entire warband. Like single-handedly, Mollog is a deterrent. If you have Mollog nearby, people will be unlikely or less willing to move into combat with you, and if they do, it's immediate punishment. Immediate. And very few things. I mean, the Swamp Troll in Mollog, like, all trogs are beautiful, right? I would be totally fine seeing a Swamp Trog being used as a Mollog. But Mollog also gets a wonderful ability that makes him even harder to kill. Despite having 35 wounds, toughness 5, and being a huge wall of stats to get past, Mollog also has the triple Summon Spite Shroom? Yeah, Summon Spite Shroom, which is you lob a mushroom, and then for the rest of the game, everything within 6 inches of that mushroom is -1 to their attacks. And that's not just with melee attacks, that's their ranged attacks too. So all those like wound 6 goblins are more likely to live. Mollog is a lot harder to kill. Mollog is just such a solid staple. And the final other addition I would love to see, I love to see in any list, if I can find it. Is it in Zarbag's Gets? No. Come on, where you at? Green Cracks Loon Corp, maybe? No. Yes. Is Snowboard to Spore. So Snowboard to Spore. Yeah, it's a great piece. Mollog's a great piece, but in last week's stream, it was against Ethan, I believe. It was a random Mollog with Snowboard to Spore, and Snowboard to Spore is a little bastard. Not gonna lie. So for 70 points, he's not too expensive. He's still made of paper, mind you, at wound 6. However, Snowball has just the best ability. He has... Where you at? Where you at? Sound the charge. Until the end of the battle round, Add half the value of this ability, rounding up to the move characteristic of friendly fighters when they move within 6 inches. Evan, that's why my ears were suddenly burning. It is. You just knew I was going to talk about it. Snowboarder Spore being a mobility, like a mobility piece to get all your guys up the board is fantastic. And since this does affect things like your reaction, so if you have Mollog buffed by Sound the Charge, it goes up to movement 7. Which means that Mollog can run a lot farther on that reaction to get into combat, and he has such a large threat range, with or without the reaction, right? It's wonderful. It's such a solid combo, and Snowball is only 70 points. So he's super affordable to take in any list. And I think if you want durability and damage and tricks, I think that Snowball plus Mollog are just super solid staples in any list. So if you can try and squeeze them in one way or another, I think that'd be pretty solid. I think how you would do that, off the top of my head, with the list that you sent, I think you could maybe achieve that if you drop the Fellwater Shaman, so the Fellwater Trog, and the Shroom Shaman. That should give you the points to take a Mollog, and a Snowball. If you change one of the shooters, into a Snowball. Yes, that's a great shout as well, Evan. Yeah, that's a great shout. So yeah, because of their battle trait letting you manipulate your dice after the fact, the Bad Moon can more reliably give you higher triples, and those higher triples translate into bigger Sound the Charges, which is always a lot of fun. Afternoon, my lovelies. Evening, even. Yes, Filax, how's it going? Yeah, I hope that helped. I think like I think Gloomspite are one of the hardest factions to look at and immediately understand what's good, because there's so much of it, and frankly, a lot of it's good as well. A lot of it's good, in my opinion. There's just so much. It's hard to pass. It has a lot of bloat to it that I think could be cut, maybe. I don't know. It could be refined in some way. But Gloomspite is huge. It's huge. I'm popping in from IKEA to say hi and then going back to browsing furniture. That's fair, that's fair. Have you added the link to the... Ooh. I need to do that, actually. I just saw your message there. No, I don't think I did, but I will absolutely pop that link into that video. That's a really good chat. So I hope that helped anyway with Gloomspite. They are a wonderful warband, so much fun, but a little bit of a pain in the ass to pass, shall we say. Grumpy Guard asks for Vulcan Flameseekers, and I am always here to talk about Vulcan Flameseekers. So Vulcan Flameseekers are amazing, right? We all know this. When it comes to damage, you are really useful. Hope they don't cut anything. It's perfect. I mean, yeah, I think everything in Gloomspite has a place. It's a victim of its own success when it comes to the sheer amount of stuff. The sheer amount of stuff in it is a little bit annoying to deal with sometimes, but it is a wonderful compendium warband through and through. So Vulcan Flameseekers, Grumpy Guard, what in particular are you struggling with when it comes to Vulcan Flameseekers? Because they're good, but they do have their weaknesses. But I want to know specifically what's causing you the most pain when it comes to using them, because they are rather fantastic. If squishy, I think that's my biggest hold up personally, is that they're very squishy. If you can survive their hit, well, you're in a good place. But if they've got the punching power to kill you, well, you're in a bit of trouble there, because you don't have that many dwarfs, right? You can't be losing your dwarfs too soon. Also, actually, whilst I'm here, whilst I'm waiting for Grumpy Guard to possibly chime in, I've just been informed that war cries in the West has so the tournament I'm going to in Bristol. So if you're near Bristol on November the 16th, I believe, there's still 2 tickets left to War Cries in the West. So I will quickly get a link for that and throw that in the chat. So if you're interested in going to War Cries in the West, I'm going. Phylax is going, of course. Off My Musings is going. It is on November the 16th. I was somehow correct. Remembering that. Shabadish. There's the link if you want to head to that event. It'll be fantastic. Andy runs a really good event, and he's got a fantastic pack. So Grumpy Guard. I feel outmaneuvered all the time. Yeah, that'll do it. Okay, maneuverability. That's definitely. I can definitely help you with that. Evan, low overall wounds and damage that really holds to get back. Yeah, their wound 6. Wound 6 on their guys is such a hurdle, right? They've been buffed heavily in terms of their point reductions, right? But they're still most of their chaff is still wound 6, and wound 6 goes down so quickly to any kind of pressure, really. Motlog does help with that, but it's still wound 6 is wound 6. Grumpy, kind of feel like I need to go 9-man, but then I feel like I miss teeth. Okay. Long Hubbies, we'll see you there, sir, bringing the old Vanguard. Ooh, Vanguard Hunters, let's go. It's been a while since I've seen you in Vanguard, Alex. I'm excited to see that, because that's a wonderful, wonderful warband. Are you running any of the new Emberwatch guys? Like Farasa and the like? The Beardor Dad, did we already discuss whether Gates will replace Cruel Boys as the premier destruction soup? We haven't. And I don't think they will. I don't think so. It's tricky. I think they won't, because I think there's more tools that are just amazing in Cruel Boys that you don't want to lose. Right, so when you take Cruel Boys, you get access to Shank, you get access to Talker, Tough Skull, Jags to Bleeder, Herc to Howler, right? And there's the other guy with the big damage as a Bladeborn, right? There's so many powerful Bladeborn within Cruel Boys that you can take without having to like ally in like Manok to Cunning or some shit, right? That it's a real ask to give up the ease of access to such powerful utility and damage pieces when you're replacing that with slightly cheaper or like slightly more effective goblins, right? And you've still got access to Gut Rippers at 75 points. Gut Rippers are such good value. They've always been great. They're still great now. Yeah, and I was about to say that, Evan, as well. Gits don't have the synergy because the Gits reaction got faction locked. So, yeah, that's a huge one. Cunning Trap, whatever it's called, can be used on anybody, whereas Pylon cannot. So I think Gits are in a great place, but I don't think they're in a position to usurp Cruel Boys as the premier super faction anytime soon. They are good though. And yes, Swampy Mist is great. I'm a big fan of Swampy Mist. I think the only issue is that the Swamp Caller Shaman's just not taken that often. But as a support piece, it's a 6-inch range, right? This probably misses 6 inches. It's a big old bubble on that. And it's -1 attacks, very powerful. Big fan of that. Alex, just Farasa is the plan. Tastier than regular Hunter. Yes, all the fast riders and a Farasa, that's good. So you don't get the resurrect on Farasa, right? If you just take Farasa, but Farasa's got a solid melee profile. I've ran it a couple of times over Vanguard and I've liked it a lot. The Bearded Dad. Also, I never realized you can venom encrusted weapons, the Swamp Caller Shaman magic attack. You can. It's rather fun. 2, 3, 4, 7 on a double is hilarious. And 20 points to make it strength 4. It is. It's one of those weird things. Like, I remember playing Cruel Boys, and at the time it wasn't widely known, or wasn't widely, people didn't quite realize as much as they do now, that you could, instead of using aimed shot on the Bolt Boy boss, you could just use venom encrusted weapon and have a rather insane, with +1 strength, like 3, 5, 2, 5 at like 20 inches on the giant crossbow, on the man-eater crossbow. I was like, oh damn, that's actually really good. Yeah, it's really good. Aim shot's wonderful, of course. You can't knock aim shot, but sometimes venom encrusted is the way to go. And more often than not, I found that venom encrusted on the big old crossbow is the way to go. And the Swamp Caller Shaman as well, being able to go to a 4/7 on that range attack it's beautiful. It's really good. Even if you were to ignore the fact, if it was just +1 crit and it went to a 3/7, like, even that's enough to be like, ooh, that's kind of spicy. Because getting that hit crit for 10 damage is such a nice place to be. But 4/7, just extra sauce, right? Just extra sauce. Big fan. So when it comes to Grimguard, when it comes to the Vulcan Flame Seekers, it's difficult because you will be outmaneuvered because you are slow. It's the unfortunate truth. Movement 3, even with all your tricks, you are slow. It's hard to get around that without using things like Blazing Impetus or using Creed of Flame to get around. The only real solution is, that I've found, there's 2, is to 3. There's 3. Take Kindle Droths, because they're movement 4, which means they gain the benefits of Blazing Impetus, and they gain benefits from Creed of Flame. They take that much better than regular dwarfs because they go 12 inches as opposed to 9 on Blazing Impetus, and they get to go 8 inches instead of 6 when it comes to their Creed of Flame. So it's a nice little buff there. So that's option 1, is take some Kindle Droths. That gets you on the board nice and quickly, and of course you can revive them. I like to think as the Kindle Droth revive less of a revive and more of a teleport. Because Kindle Droths die, because they're only 10 wounds. They will die. And what I've found is, I like to use them as little missiles. Charge them in to either burst something down, be annoying, contest objectives, maybe attract more models to one part of the board to deal with it. Because, if they've got chaff on an objective, this guy will eat through chaff for days. So they might send in some extra guys. When they do that, it'll die. You then resurrect it to a Drothblood Thane, and then it's basically teleported to the other side of the board to continue its mayhem. And I love doing that. It's a lot of fun. So option number 1 was the Kindle Droth in all forms. Option number 2 is the Drothblood Thane, which might seem weird, but I absolutely love taking +1 move on the Drothblood Thane, because I find that the strength's fine, but I don't really care anymore, right? With the change to counter, going to strength 5, he's a blender. He's meant to blend things. His damage comes from his triple. His damage comes from ignite weapon, right? It comes from just being blendy into chaff and into other mid-range. He's not there to kill big elites. Right, so being strength 4, I've found is completely fine. +1 move, he gets all the benefits of a Kindle Droth. It means he moves 12 inches on Blazing Impetus. He's just faster in general when double moving. He's movement 10 or movement 5 with Rush, movement 10 if you're double moving with Rush. He's a lot more mobile, and he's the kind of guy that you want to be mobile because he wants to get into combat more because he's only got range 1. Everyone else is range 2. Things with +1 move I have done work with. I run them with +1 move whenever I can. They're so much fun. That's option number 2. Good guard. So keeping inside of Vulcan Flameseekers is the way. Well, that's option number 3. We're rolling into option number 3. Option number 3 is allies. Okay, so option number 3 is to take allies. Ever seen a Riverblade Seneschal in Flameseekers for what? I have seen a Flameseeker Seneschal build, and it's rather wonderful. So there are so many powerful order pieces that can get your guys around, or can help you in your objective play. Okay, so great ones. Yeah, so try the Seneschal a few times, but even with the cheapest one, it's hard to justify it. It's as it need to be everywhere at the same time with its triple. Yeah, it means it's got a large range, right? So it's got a large range. So you try and position it kind of centrally to hit as many people as possible. And remember, you don't always need to hit everybody. So it's only got a 6-inch range, but really it's got a 9-inch range. So if we got the Seneschal, True, is it True Flood? True, I don't know what it's called. Fuck it, Riverblades. What's it called? So Release the River. Here we go. So it's got a 6-inch range, but it's actually a 9-inch range. So the 9-inch range because you only have to hit them once to really gain the benefit, right? So if you can't quite get everyone within 6 inches, get as many people within 9 so they can move their 3, get the buff, then move their extra buffed movement on the second move, and it covers much more if you look at it from that kind of perspective. And it can definitely help, especially when it combos with Blazing Impetus, right? So if you're moving, let's say you've got Release the River on a value of 3, so everyone's moving an extra 3 inches, right? Blazing Impetus, all your guys can now potentially move up to 18 inches. With a Blazing Impetus, if you whip them with Creator Flame, it does cost 2 triples, but whatever. You're now being launched 12 inches, right? It's a really powerful ability. It's a little bit clunky. I've seen it work. I do like it, but for me, it's always when it comes to mobility, I've found that I don't necessarily like the mobility abilities from other factions in my Vulcan Flameseekers. Right? So, how do I put it? If I'm playing Vulcan Flameseekers, I always take a Drothmaster, and the Drothmaster is my mobility thing. He is my mobility magnifier. He will be the guy who gets the things I need across the board when they need to get across the board. If I'm taking a Seneschal, the Drothmaster gets cut. If I'm taking a Calthea Zandire, the Drothmaster gets cut. And I'm not a huge fan of that. I don't know why. But personally, I've always found that always sits a bit wrong, when instead I could just take fast allies. And fast allies have been the saving grace for me when it comes to Vulcan Flameseekers, because it means I can invest those points from it. The Seneschal is a bit squishy, a bit it's not awful in combat, but it'll get into combat and then usually die because it's so squishy, right? Calthea Zandire is fine, she's not great in combat, but you're spending a lot of points on her for that really good triple. Whereas you could just take a really good beak stick that's fast. And great examples come in Seraphon. Seraphon are a fantastic way for this, because Seraphon have just some great stuff. You could go all out expensive and take a Scarvet on Agrodon. Wouldn't recommend it, but you could. But you could just take a Saurus called Scar Veteran on Cold One. The guy's moving 7 base whip this guy on a triple, he goes 14 inches for free. Right? He gets where he needs to go. He's durable. One of the things you would lack in Vulcan Flameseekers is durability. Your guys are quite squishy. 28 wounds, toughness 5. Dude's a beat stick. He just survives hits for days. He has access to the same reaction you do. So he's fairly easy to keep alive because is it called Sunblood or Starborn, whatever it's called, is a really good reaction. He has access to Tearing Bite. So if you have those rare two triple turns, whip this guy into combat with a low triple, then pop Tearing Bite on a high triple. Guys at 4/4 fucking 8/10 potentially. Right, so the Scar Veteran is wonderful for this. Other options are Idneth. So I know I'm not the only person who's done this. Your Lane from the Discord also ran this. But Sireni and Sylvaneth are wonderful ally options because together they're not too expensive and they're also fast. They're movement 5 base, so getting whipped. I've kind of omitted the Scar Veteran as many people have always said that it'd be gone. I mean, it could be gone. It's not gone yet, so it's definitely still usable. I'll quickly jump back to Seraphon in a second, but Sireni, the base is great. Why is Sireni great? Because she's movement 5 base. Movement 5 base means you are just nice and speedy. You can whip her to get where you want to go. Sylvaneth is movement 5 base, whip her to where you want to go. He's also a beast, so he combos with to get an attack. So it's move, attack for an 11-inch threat range. Gets around the board, does what we need to do. My favorite part of any Idneth ally in Flameseekers is their double low tide. My god, this ability is game-winningly good. Like, so good in treasure missions specifically because it lets you just take treasures and fuck off. It's such a good ability for turn 1 mobility, which is what you want to get, right? You want to get your guys in a position as quickly as possible, which is fantastic. So there's always, I think Sireni is fantastic. You could also go with, what's up here, sorry, ally in Achillean Kings. Believe it or not, this will impact your model count heavily. My god, heavily. But Achillean Kings, movement 10 with fly, god tier whip targets. They go wherever they want to go, which is wonderful. Okay, have you tried them with Hexbane, Pock, and the dogs to whip? I have, when I was first playing Flameseekers when they first came out, and Hexbane and Pock are a wonderful combination. So, moving on from like fastings, there's so many fastings you can do, but you can also just go for threat projection, right? So, what does mobility grant? For combat purposes, it grants threat projection. I say reach out and poke things. Hexbane's great for that because he has Pock. Hexbane has a pistol, which is great for that too. The dogs can be whipped, which is less useful because the dogs aren't that great, but still kind of fun. Pock's a great pick. Really reaches out and hits things. That is basically my list. Runefather with crit, Drothmaster, 3 Bocage with crit, Haskell, Pock, +1 strength, and 2 dogs is great. It's great. I am a huge fan of +1 crit Bocazes. Going to a 6 damage crit is hilariously good with Ignite Weapon. It's massively slept on. You don't know what you're missing until you try it. You are a little bit squishy because I also like having wounds on them instead. But crit is also hilariously fun for just raw damage output. They just hit for days. It's so good. Man, I love Seraphon so much. Just printed a warband for myself. Yeah, man. Seraphon are great. Tried Pock and Co, but with... Okay, yeah, with a slow band, it's hard to move the warband and protect it from... Yeah, that's another issue, of course, with Pock, is that Pock is another slow piece. Pock doesn't want to move. It's quite a stationary bit, so it can be quite difficult. It can definitely work, though. It can definitely work. I've run it in the past. It's a bit tricky, especially if they've got fast things. Always be aware of that. Don't don't rip the dogs. Yeah, don't rip the dogs. But yes, so when it comes to Seraphon, if you don't want to take this cold one, you don't need to take the cold one. It's absolutely fine. The cheaper up, it's more expensive, slightly. Take an Agrodon Lancer. It's potentially even better. Like, I'm not going to lie, right? The cold one at 215 is fine. It's wonderful. But the Agrodon Lancer is also, it's 20 points more expensive, but you get an extra point in crit, you get an extra point in movement. Right, you're losing other areas, but whatever. He hits harder, and he's faster, and he's got more range. Agrodon Lancer is just a solid pick. You can also go with the club if you wanted to. I like the spear. The spear is probably the way to go. Just for the cost. It's wonderful. So you can also go with the Agrodon Lancer as another choice. Other picks whilst we're here for fantastic mobility options. Anything in Idness, like I said, is great. Daughters of Cain. The Medusas. Frankly, any of them are fine. I've ran the Blood Rack in the past, and the Blood Rack Medusa, again, it will pull your model count down. It's very expensive. I think it'll pull you down to maybe a 7-man. But the Blood Rack's fast, it's durable, it's got good damage, it can buff its own strength innately, it's got a net, a very reliable net, which is great, and a nice big base with range 2, so it controls space really nicely. Blood Rack's a great pick. 4 more speed. Other picks would have to be, is Dispossessed. So again, if mobility, it's trying to tackle the issue of being outmaneuvered and outnumbered. Yeah, that's fine. To be honest, going below 8 is hard. It is hard. So one of the things you can do to tackle mobility, so mobility issues and Vulcan Flameseekers, you can tackle their outmaneuvered and the outnumbered issues in all kinds of ways. Speed, damage, whatever, but also just Dispossessed. Dispossessed is always cool. Because Dispossessed gain access to Rune Lords, who are super cheap at 115 points, and they have, was it Over My Dead Body? What's it called again? My brain's fucking died. Over My Dead Body. That guy's now counting as 3 models. You can hold your backline almost indefinitely with this. You can push him up to take a key objective at a key time. He's a wonderful piece. I've given this guy +1 move before, so he gets around easier, and he does a lot's work, and he does fix some of that outmaneuvering problem, because if he's on your backline, as an example, it means the other 7 models can move up freely. Right? They don't have to stay back. They don't have to be out of position. You move up and do what you need to do effectively, because you know your backline supported by a 20 wound guy who counts as 3 to 5 guys. That's an incredible amount of dedication to take him off that point. And often people don't bother. And if they do, well then, they've likely dedicated a major piece of their warband in terms of raw numbers or power, right? A powerful piece to knock him off. And at that point, you've kind of won in a different kind of way, right? You've gained benefits from that play. Hello, what about Hydra? The Hydra whip combo, yes. Adele, absolutely yes. If you want to go crazy, you can absolutely go Hydra with Vulcan Flameseekers. I've ran it before as well. I proxied the giant Magma Droth, because the Magma Droth is on the same base size as a War Hydra. It's a perfect proxy. I proxied a Magma Droth as a Hydra. It's a lot of fun. It does the Lord's work as well. You can also instead take a Charybdis for the AoE net, which is very powerful. That single-handedly fixes all of your mobility problems, because you just take away all your opponents, and it's kind of fine. Vulcan Flameseekers are one of those warbands that are just, their core kit is so powerful. It's kind of, and fixing their issues, you can't necessarily fix them all. It's going about trying to fix the because okay, the outmaneuvering issue can be fixed with allies. It can be fixed in faction. It can be fixed with ability usage. It can also be fixed with play, right? Knowing what your plan is and executing that plan without making too many mistakes, right? If you know where you want to go and you know what you're taking there and what you need to take that point or take the treasure or do what you need to do effectively, then you don't have to then redeploy, reposition with your slow movement, right? It's moving with purpose. And that's difficult, and that's magical Christmas land thinking. But the more you play Vulcan Flameseekers, the better you get at going, okay, well, I need to kill X. What can kill this? It's a mixture of these units. Well, then they go there, and that's their whole purpose, to do this thing. And they won't have to redeploy and reposition and awkwardly shimmy around the board. So it's tricky. It's very tricky, but I am of the camp that the Draftmaster is something that you want to use and you should keep in your warband, because he's the cheapest form of mobility you can have in Vulcan Flameseekers. If you drop him, you have to replace him with things that are like 100 points more expensive. And frankly, I have not found them to be worth it. Right, I've seen people take Calthea. They drop the Draftmaster for a Calthea, and personally, I don't think it's worth it. I've never seen it pay off in any way that makes me go, ah, yes, that is definitely the way to go. Oh, hang on. We have a game lined up with Rick in about 10 minutes. That's exciting. So I think it's effectively utilizing the Draftmaster becomes another aspect. Because you can get where you want to go. The Draftmaster's ability is incredibly powerful. But if you're all in faction, you need to use Kindle Droths in some capacity. If you're not all in faction, you have to pick allies that are either fast or have other mobility tricks in them. So like Idoneth have tricks within their warband to begin with. You've got things like Sylvaneth comboing with the Draftmaster innately, etc. You could even take a Neve Black Talon. I did take a Neve Black Talon for a long time. She's a lot of fun. Again, you're going down to 7-man. This is always an issue. But a common ally package for me. So I think the list I took, in fact, let's do it this way. The list that I took to UK Games Expo. Let's have a look. We'll get the Idoneth in first. There's Sireni. There's Sireni, a Sylvaneth. We then had a Rune Lord. And we got the Vulcan Flameseekers again. Vulcan. I love Bakaz in all shapes and forms. It's just a me thing. Feel free to take what you want to do with this, but I'll take Bakaz all day, every day. This was my 8-man list. It was a Sireni, a Rune Father, a Rune Lord, a Thane, a Master, Sylvaneth, 2 Skill Breakers. I had 15 points of blessings. I used those points on the Thane for +1 movement. You could absolutely give Sireni +1 strength if you wanted some more reliable range damage. 3, 4, 3, 7 is absolutely staggering when it comes to just dealing damage. But I do love myself a Drothblitz Thane. What does this give you? It gives you incredible objective control on the Rune Lord. It gives you incredible amounts of treasure control on Sireni, because Sireni can go up, can easily whip to a treasure to take it and run away. She's fast enough to do this. But the real trick is that modern treasure missions require interactions. Right? You've got to move to an objective, then interact. Right? Spend an action to interact to gain a treasure. Right? This traps you on the objective unless you're something like Sireni, who moves to the objective, picks it up, and then, haha, you use Low Tide in turn 1 to then move for free. You then whip her to safety with the Thane. You're good to go. There's so many tricks of getting around the board with this. The damage is through the roof when you need it. Of course, Ignite Weapon's insane. You have Thanes, you have their triple, you've got the Masters, the Fathers, and the Breakers. You can do damage, you have the speed, you have the mobility, and the Rune Lord's there to do objective stuff. This list did so well, especially with +1 movement on the Thane. It lost once at UK Games Expo, it went 3-1. Largely down to my own misplay. So when I say that a lot of Vulcan Flameseeker's issues can be resolved by good play, when it comes to maneuverability, I am not saying I am perfect. I absolutely lost a mirror match against Vulcan Flameseekers because I fucked up and got outmaneuvered because of my own misplay. So it's absolutely a thing that can happen to anybody. That's not me blowing my own trumpet when I say just play better. It's an actual thing where you kind of have to not fuck up and get caught in bat with your pants down, basically, because you're only moving 3. But this list did great. Sylvaneth's fantastic. Like, it was a solid list. If you'd go completely in faction, then 2 Thanes or 1. Okay. All in faction. Let's theory craft. Top of the old top of the old bonds, right? We take the old master crafted Bakaz. We'll take at least 1 Thane. We'll take a master. Let's take 2 Kindle Droths. Let's go crazy. Let's take a second Thane. Can we fit him in? Maybe. 2 Bakaz. Oh baby, here we go. We've hit some. So this came together kind of wonderfully. So we have an 8-man warband, and this is what I would run in faction. So I would take 2 Thanes because Thanes are good. Master, you need the Master from ability tricks. You take the whatever Runefather you want. I love Bakaz. The Great Axe is also fine. Whatever. 2 Kindle Droths. You can run these in 2 ways. Either +4 wounds, so their resurrection is even more annoying. A 14 wound resurrect on this profile is kind of insane. However, +1 crit makes them incredible damage dealers. Holy shit, don't underestimate a whipped Kindle Droth running into combat. It runs 8 inches. It attacks 4 times. The 4-4-2-4 profile. It then activates. It then attacks 8 times, once with Ignite Weapon. You average like 20 to 24 damage. Sorry, 20 to 22 damage on average with those 12 attacks. Pick a thing you want dead. The Kindle Droth just barrels in and kills it. When it dies, you revive it. Okay? So either go for maxed out damage with crit or annoyance and durability with wounds. Both work. In this case, let's see if we get a crit. So we'll go crit. This will take us to 955. We put movement maybe on these Thanes, which will be another 80 points. This will take us to brain no work territory. This will take us to 985. We have 15 points left over. At this point, you basically just buff up the Runefather, I think. Either give him some crit, give him some strength. Depending on the Runefather, for example, you might give this one here, for example, a point of crit or a point of strength to make him a bit more durable. You might even give one of your Scale Breakers +4 wounds. Could also work. You have the points as well, of course, to not give these crit and give these wounds instead, and give these the 2 Thanes movement. This warband has speed for days. You have 4 models at movement 4, 2 of which can be whipped and resurrected / teleported. You have damage with the Scale Breakers, damage with the Thanes, damage with the Kindle Droths, damage with the Runefather. Like, if I was all in faction, double Thane, double Droth would be like my sort of like top of my head ideal, because it has all the toys I want to see. It's basically 2 of everything. It's just 2 of everything. But it works. It's 9. I could see this doing well. This did do well, in fact. Sorry, it's even that theoretical. I think I ran this exact list, or near enough this exact list, before Kindle Droths were buffed. So when they were 105 points, 110 points, I think. So this was so pre-buff. This list actually did pretty well, I think, if I recall correctly. Now it's been buffed and you've got more blessings and kills just a better value. Absolutely, I think this could do work. It's still got all the trappings and weaknesses of Flame Seekers, though. You aren't that durable. You are mid-range, so you've got to be careful when it comes to massive smashy threats. You've got to utilize ignite weapons effectively. Use your berserk rampages effectively to burst down these massive threats. But otherwise, you're good to go. You are also quite vulnerable to range attack spam as well, which is a thing that you're always going to struggle with if you don't have a range attack of your own to counter with them, and you don't here. But no list is perfect. I think this one is pretty darn solid. But would that LRL Underworld maybe work on Lumineth Realm Lords. Lumineth. Let's have a look. I've got a game just about to come up, so let's have a look. Oh, Mayari Lightcaller. Potentially. She's fine. She's nice and fast. She's got a nice Wizard's Bolt there. Her abilities. The Scryhawk. Always good +1 attack. And Dazzling Light. Possibly. I've never tried Mayari Lightcaller. But a movement 5 piece is always good for being whipped, for movement. And she has a good attack buff and a good defense buff. Potentially. I could see Mayari working out pretty well, I think. Potentially. But we have a game with Rick. So let's get TTS booted up. I'll also quickly go into the voice chat on Discord so he can actually join and talk to us. Bada bish, we are now in there. And then we go over to War Steam. Find TTS. Move that up. Bada bish. Additionally, we hit up game capture. This should floopily flap over to Tabletop Simulator on your screen in just a moment. Hey Rick, how's it going, man?
Yep. How's it going? It's alright with me, thanks.
Wonderful. Same here. I am just. Have you got a lobby opened up, or should I make one?
No, I haven't made one yet. I haven't done anything.
Beautiful. I've made one now. It's just walk right TTS with password 123. Should get you right in there. I need to put my list into Walkrider. What are you running today, Rick?
Ruination Chamber.
Ooh, scary. Ruination terrifies me.
It's currently what's on my painting table, so
they're wonderful models.
Yes, oh definitely. I didn't really like them at first, but they've certainly grown on me.
Yeah.
I've never been a big fan of just like the big armoured, models really, but I do quite like them.
Yeah, no, I like them a lot. It's that sort of like the monkish look as well that sort of like pushes them over the edge, and like, ooh, these are actually just not just like big dudes in armor. It's big dudes in armor with robes to keep them warm.
Yeah.
I was running a Ruination Chamber list at Tabletop Scotland, and it was a really fun time, but it also made me realize just how terrifying they are. So
yeah,
I'm a little bit.
I kind of, as I normally sort of go for like quite large war bands, quite fast. I thought, well, these are definitely something different for me to sink my teeth into.
Yeah, they're on the slower side. I am running Sylvaneth. which I've been running for the past few weeks on stream, in preparation for Warcries in the West. Are you heading to Warcries in the West?
Is that the Nottingham one?
It's the one in Bristol.
No, not. I'm going to Nottingham.
Ooh, I might be going there as well. Actually, that'd be quite exciting. Although I don't think I'll be bringing Sylvaneth for that one, but I am planning on it. Let's have a look. Oh, okay. Right off the bat, I'm a huge fan of seeing 2 prosecutors.
Yeah, I like them. Again, they're just so. Although this is a really slow list, it's very fast, and that guy's the wrong guy.
Oh, it's the sacrosanct one, isn't it?
Yeah, it won't load up the right one.
Interesting. So I think
it's supposed to be the blindfolded wizard.
I'm pretty sure if I do a sneaky little copy of his name, go over here and punch it in, it should bring up one. Ah, he has arrived. There you go.
Aha, that's the chap.
So we've got 2 Reclusians. One's Lord Veritant, 2 Reclusians, 2 Prosecutors, and 2 Crows. I like it. I absolutely love Prosecutors. Movement 10, fly, their teleport on a double, insane.
The teleport's fantastic.
It's so good. Like, they're one of those things that only die if you make a mistake or you want them to die.
Yeah. Because
they can just teleport around and just harass things. They're so hard to catch. Range 12 with a solid range attack. They're so good. I love them so much. And you don't see them very often, sadly. Especially not pairs of them. So
no, well, this is what 990, I think. Yeah, it should be 990.
I love it.
So I think that it just works.
Yeah, this is the exact list I didn't take this list to Tabletop Scotland, but this is the list that whenever I've been punching in lists for Reclusians, it tends to boil down to something like this.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of this, and I'm terrified of it in equal measure because that Lord Veritant making all my abilities a value of 1 board wide.
Yes.
is terrifying. So we'll see how that goes. Let's get some good terrain on here. Ideally not Gur. There's always Gur terrain. But Gur terrain tends to be the most balanced. That isn't just like here's a literal wall that blocks the entire board off for one player.
Yeah.
Come on. That'll do. Spoiler, it's Gur terrain. It's always Gur terrain. Do you want more terrain than this, or are you happy with this?
I'm fine with it, but
yeah, that's absolutely fine.
It doesn't look too bad, actually, does it?
Yeah, I can vibe with this kind of terrain.
Yeah, the outsides are a bit sparse, but
yeah, the middle's quite dense. We'll take it. Do you have a mission preference or a pack preference?
No, not particularly.
Cool. I'll roll on the random missions and we'll see what we'll get. That's a 3, which is Pillager's Loot. It's a bit of a classic, this one. For the battle, 3 objectives. So you spend an action to loot the objective to get a treasure.
I
think each one contains 2, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
1 point each battle round per treasure, and then 3 at the last turn. So you get triple the points on the last turn. It's kind of spicy. So my list is a Kenneth Huntmaster with strength and a scythe, a hunter with greatsword, a Skaith the huntsman, Anslane the revenant archer, Ulthari, and then 2 spites and a tree revenant. So it's 8-man warband. We've got some nets, we've got some teleport tricks, got a bit of mobility, and we've got 2 big boys who might not do too great into your big boys, but we'll see. The scythe has +1 strength, so he might be okay, but still, I think he kind of pales in comparison to your Reclusians, frankly, because they've got Some pretty stonking stats on them.
I was going to say they are. They're pretty sound.
Yeah, pretty good. Let's go with something like. Actually, no. Yeah, so like. Bonk. 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 Bonk, I think. I like to have the you with you. One of each with you. I always forget who goes with these lot. These two. I think it's Elthari over here and this guy over here, I think. We'll go with it. I haven't quite nailed my deployments for this warband yet.
No, I'm still sort of messing around trying to see what's best.
Yeah, I think is it shield come on turn 2? It's not actually on the board, but I think.
Shield
and dagger.
And dagger round 2.
Ooh, spicy. So we have our hammer, just our hammer. Beautiful. Well, let's roll for red and blue, I guess. Get a big old 5. Ooh, I get a pick.
Mighty 3.
A mighty 3. What's in my hammer anyway? Oh. Spicy. I think we'll take red. Potentially.
Yep, fair enough.
It's got less stuff in the way. I can put a dude up here. And then attacker and defender. Get a big old 1. I don't think I'm winning that one. No.
If I'm going to roll a 2, may as well be then.
Yep. So you get a pick who deploys first.
I may as well let you go first.
Cool. So you've got your Trunky boy. 20 wounds. That always catches us off guard. I always forget that he's only got 20 wounds.
Yeah, he's sort of the wizard. There's another lad that I think's about 10 points more that has got a pretty good triple of just but it's like everybody who's taken more than 5 wounds can make an advance or an attack.
Yes, the Lord Terminus.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah, he's
so sort of floating around with those two. This guy seems a bit more defensive, and the other one seems a bit more aggressive.
Yeah, he's pretty sweet. I like them both. The bearded dad said, "Been meaning to ask all you heavy tourney goers, can you tell if someone brought a list just because it's meta over what they actually wanted to play?" No, not really, because there isn't really a meta. Right, like, like there is, but like, why were all the Skaven players taking 2 rat ogres and stuff? Right, it wasn't necessarily because that was what was meta. It's because it was also really easy to buy because that was the current like Age of Sigmar starter set. It was a really good value box to buy, right? If people were taking like hyper meta picks, I think the most obvious thing you would be able to tell was if they were running like 11 crossbows and Wiltico hunters. And even then, that's a fun list to mess around with because there's nothing quite like it. So I don't think you would be able to tell that someone's taking just because it is meta, because there are a fair few really fun meta builds, and some of the meta builds are also just the easiest thing to build for a faction. So saying that, are they just trying to win? Or that's not what they want to play, I think is a smidge too presumptuous. Potentially. But I don't know. That's my take on that. That's me set up there, Rick. Sorry.
Yeah, that's right.
And at least in the UK as well, lists are incredibly varied. They're very varied in all kinds of weird and wacky ways. And ultimately, like the super competitive tournament goers only make up like 5% of like, you know, any given like 5-10% of a whole tournament. So like most lists I find are actually either kind of spicy, kind of weird, kind of wacky, and you know, hyper competitive players like say Off Meta Musings, his lists are, as his name suggests, incredibly off meta and bizarre and wacky. So yeah, wonderful. Is that you set up? Sorry.
Yeah, that's me set up.
Beautiful. Let's roll for real initiative and see who goes first. Bada bish, bada bish. I have 4 singles. I suspect I am in the running.
I have 3 doubles.
You're definitely not getting initiative.
So you've got the initiative.
I do indeed. Okay. Well, in that case, I will bank.
Yeah, I'll bank as well.
Okay. So how close do you need to be to steal a treasure token? Within 1 inch. Okay. Okay.
What did I do?
I think let's have a little. So I'm red, right? So you're down here somewhere.
Yeah, that's what I think. Like, yeah, we come on all on the same side.
Yeah. Right. Okay. I'll let you take the first activation.
Okay. Fairly speedy. Not going to see that, lad.
Yeah, it's moving 8, I think. Yeah, it's moving 8. You can get around.
Nope, come on, behave. No, it's not within an inch, is it?
Actually, it's got to be within an inch of the center, right? Which is, yeah, you have to rush.
Yeah.
To be able to nab that.
Yeah, rushing wasn't the plan. Should have put my Griffhound there a little bit more first. Okay. I don't know if that's going to help me out or not. Yeah, I'm just going to double run over to here.
Okie dokie. Range 15. Ooh, I can't snipe you. I tell you what, I'm going with Anne's Lane, the Revenant Archer. She's going to take 2 shots into this Reclusian.
Yeah.
I'll fast roll the 4 shots. Hit on 5s. It's 1-4, so we're hoping for some 6s basically. Give you the legend. That's 6 damage.
There's a couple.
That's a pretty good one.
Good enough.
That is good enough. Anyone run the Veritant in their ruinations? Well, Rick's running the Veritant right now. His ability is a bit slow, which is the one downside, right? You've got to sort of give up an activation to use it. But the effect is incredibly powerful. Reducing abilities to 1 and then automatically cancelling them on any reaction anywhere is insane. You can shut down any ability you don't want to see.
I'll do his double of, what is it, Lightning Scourge Soul.
Okay.
On double 5.
Okay.
So 5 tokens, and then I'll just move up 4.
Okay, okay.
And then yeah, just move within an inch. There we go.
Okay, so your threat range is like 11. Ooh, that's a scary threat range on that guy. So I am going to go with Scaith the Huntsman, and I don't know if this is actually a good idea, but I think it's the perfect time to try it. I am going to use my battle trait to use my Wander the Spirit Paths to teleport Scaith the Huntsman for free. Oh, actually, hang on. The Griff Crow completely ruined that idea. So I was going to teleport down here and take this treasure and run away. But the Griff Crow is there now. I can't do that. Oh, you've balked my plan.
Was accidentally awesome.
Yeah, because I was going to teleport down here, loot, then run away. And take yours and flee to my turn 2 deployment.
Yeah, that was sort of... if I'd have got the prosecutors out a bit earlier, then I could have sort of maybe teleported and done a thing.
Yeah, there's definitely some tricks for that. But no, I can't do that. That does kind of open Scaith up to maybe some other stuff. Like just taking this one, for example. So let's go with Scaith the Huntsman. Movement 8. So he'll move. I have concerns. I have many concerns. One being this guy being right there. But let's sort of put our back of our base, the front of our base, I guess, to here, and we'll spend the loot. So I'm not engaged, but we do get the token, and it's a little bit scary because I am staring death in the face. But we'll see what happens with that. Over to you.
Yep.
I could teleport as well. No, I'm not going to teleport.
Yeah. I can't remember what this guy can do with doubles. Oh, I'm the wrong way around. I can't read the writing. Will it sit there without breaking anything? Yeah.
Sorry for all the questions. This is my weekly walk ride time. Ask away. Always happy to answer.
Let's have a blast at that lad then.
Okay, so I'm toughness 5 because it is firing through the terrain. But so you're winning me on 5s.
5s.
Hoping for the best.
Nope.
Got a bit lucky there. I'll take it. We'll go the Spite Revenant. He will. Move 4. Don't want to rush with this. Maybe. I should teleport with Scaith, actually. That's fine. We'll move 4. I'll use a double to rush to get an extra inch. Let's go within that.
Yeah.
A little bit. I'll loot. This is... I'm not hugely happy with what I've done here, but we've taken both treasures. We'll see what happens. They might just die next turn to a rampaging Reclusian, but we'll see.
It'd be nice. I'm hoping nice. So, but
my initial plan to sneak this one resulted instead to being, let's just take this one twice and then risk immediate death. So we'll find out if that was the best play or not. That's that done. I scored 2 points because I hold 2 treasures.
Yep.
And then we go on 10-2. Bada bish. 2 doubles, 2 singles.
1 double, 4 singles.
Oh no, it's falling apart already.
I was going to say, I wanted all of the doubles now.
Yeah. So you get a spend first.
Oops. Let's make a triple and a double.
I'll make 2 singles.
Nope, I don't want to move that.
I think I want the initiative. Yeah. Yeah, I think yeah, I'm okay with that. I'll make 2 doubles.
Yeah.
So I have the initiative, so I get to play first. So I'll go to my dagger first. Let's go. And deploy something like this. Yeah, I think I'll do. Your dagger. Let's plonk.
Big lad,
down.
front and centre.
Always. Keep the little guy a bit further back. Oh, your Griff Crow's not. That's a different Griff Crow. Of course, that's not in the same deployment group. Yep.
That's the one that cowardly ran away.
Yes. Right. So ordering is important for what I do here. Because I am in grave danger. But you don't have a rampage, which is fine. So this Spite Revenant is going to go. And they're going to go 5.5.
Bravely run away.
And then bravely flee. Wants nothing to do. Actually, sorry, before I do that, I forgot. Could I throw a net before I do that at this guy?
Yeah.
So I was just over an inch away, so I can use my 2-inch net here. On a 3 plus, that guy can't move. Of course, you can try and shut it down.
That's what I'm thinking, because I've got then.
So I was here, wasn't I? I was 6 inches. So if I was here, so I'd be in range for either of them to actually shut us down. If you want to use your reaction,
I'll let you do it.
Okay. So on a 3 plus, your Reclusian is netted. Nice.
Yep.
So that guy is netted, which is absolutely perfect. And then you'll run away.
Yep.
I forgot. I was confused at who has nets. Is it the spites or the tree revenants? Now I've realised. Oh, I've got a second spite over there. I've got 2 nets. This is one of the netter ones. But yeah, drop that net and run away. That's him done. Over to you.
Well, in that case, then let's go with this lad, perhaps. Nope. That's quite a move.
No, don't assassinate my dude. Not my dude. I need him to live.
I'm either thinking that or sort of just have 2 shots at that guy.
Yeah.
Try and whittle him down. You're right. All right, I'll spend the double and I'll teleport.
Okay. So you've got to be
More than 5 inches away.
Is it more than 5? That's just a good teleport. Yeah, more than 5.
And
Nice.
more than 3 from an objective. So I can sort of be there.
Yep.
And then I'll fly up and land on the tree. If I can.
No, not me archer. Don't trap me archer.
Kind of.
Yeah, I'll do it.
And then I'll have a swing at the archer.
Swing away. I am toughness 3. I will use vengeful spites. So it's like counter, but when you hit me, you take damage as opposed to missing. No.
4 damage.
You take 2 in return. I'm down to 6. Okie dokie.
That's that lad done.
I don't really want Skaith getting shot by this guy specifically. So I can just move away. You're engaged, so I can't shoot you. Could shoot twice. Yeah. Okay. So you've got an 11-inch threat. Oh my god! Just get out of that entirely. So movement 6 currently, because the treasure slows me down. Get out of threat range. And we have 8 inches, so I'll throw a spear behind us and try and clap this reclusian.
Yep, fair.
Hang on 5s. With 2 dice. For 2 damage. And that's him done.
Alright, this Griff Crow will go for an objective.
Yep.
But he can't carry it, so he drops it immediately.
He does.
So let's drop it there.
Sneaky.
And then head 6 inches this way.
Okay. I'll just replace it with this one here, just so we've got a visual of its pickup range.
Sure. That's fair.
Okay. I will go with my Kernoth Hunt Master, I think. And see if I can be a cheeky fucker. So we'll go 4 to here.
Yeah.
And then we'll go 4 to here. We'll pick it up. And
That's
then
fair.
we'll teleport with our battle trait.
Okay.
Over to here.
So I will use an action on.
Oh, of course. You can use an action to try and stop that. I believe it's got a value of 6.
Yeah.
But I will double check because I don't know. doesn't even say. It doesn't even say.
If it's just dice value.
Yeah, but there is. It's
If it rolls equal, remove that token.
I don't have dice value because it's the battle trait. It's a free teleport. It uses an ability for it, but I don't have any dice value for it. Usually it counts as 6. I think the only other option is, I think, the Splintered Fang specifically states 6. But this one doesn't, so I don't know what it counts as.
If you roll to the value of that, yeah, no, I haven't had that come up before.
I mean, so the only thing I can think of would be Splintered Fang being the next closest equivalent, and that one is it's tret as a value of 6. So I'll be inclined to assume it's the same here as well.
Yeah, no, that sounds fair.
But that's the only example I can think of that gives you free abilities.
Yeah.
So
I'm just having a gander because if this is going to come up a bit, then
yeah.
So what's it called? Remove this fighter up. I guess I may as well try and Hail Mary a 6.
Okay.
I'll be in
a terrible position if you get it, so this is not a good place to be.
Nope.
No. So we'll chat if you've got an actual answer to that question. Feel free to drop it because I don't know. It's one of those weird situations. There aren't many things that give you free abilities. So I don't actually know what it is, other than the Splintered Fang, which springs to mind. But we will teleport over here. And
that's a problem.
Be a bit of a... if we even go here, we'll be cheeky. Let's try and actually be the cheekiest lad. Plonk like here. That's him done. Over to you. I'm sorry.
Sorry. Well, in that case, then.
That was quite cheeky.
Yeah, no, that's fair. No, I was worried that you were going to get to it somehow and pick it up, and I was just like, But
the Sylvaneth battle trait it's a varied and wonderful one that has so many applications.
I'll just wait with this guy.
Okay. I will loot a treasure with Ilthari. And then she will move 3. That's it done.
And then I'll wait again with this lad.
I will move this Spike Revenant, I guess. He will just go and engage this Griffcrow.
Let's fly to that.
Rightio, let's loot with this hunter and then go. Whoop. Here we go. 3 here. This is also deactivated now. So we've got a perfect line of treasure carriers.
Yeah.
Doing the conga.
Sounds funky. Alright. Come back, you. Can I get in range of anything? No. I'll spend the triple to heal the Reclusion for 3.
I am okay. No, I've got Ansley. Ansley will punch the prosecutor with great vengeance.
So I'm just going to move him up another 4.
Yep, no bother. There's 2 attacks. Hitting on 5s.
I feel like I need to be overly aggressive now.
Yeah. So Ansley just punches 1 damage into the prosecutor. Legend. That's done. Over to you.
I'll loot and then move up.
The Tree Revenant will. It's kind of in a bad spot. Can't really do much because it's terrible in combat and there's no treasures left, so it's just kind of existed. Will make its way over to here. There we go.
4 attack, strength 4, 1, 3. I mean, I don't particularly think the Griffco can have a go at him.
Not massively tough. We have soft bark in Sylvaneth.
I think I might as well. I'll just have 2 attacks at him.
Okay.
Or, well, have 1 attack, see how it goes.
Really well. Take 3.
3 damage?
I'm down 7.
And I'll have another go.
Oh, no.
Well, the 3. I mean...
There you go. Can't get much better than that. My guy is about to die. And I'm out of guys. So it's...
so am I.
Wonderful. So I score 5 points.
A lot.
Yes, I have snuck many a treasure this turn.
Yeah.
So it's 5-1. We've got a 10-3. You had two doubles, 2 singles.
2 singles.
So that is a roll off. Ooh.
Useful.
Get a 6. Okay, my dice are pretty low value. Also, I don't
Also,
have
you've
any...
got exactly the same that I've got. Apart from the single 4, we've rolled exactly the same.
I'm going to bank, I think, because I don't have any use for triples, really. And I think I'll just bank for next turn.
Yeah, I'm going to bank as well.
Okay, so I've got the initiative, and we have some people in danger of death, and Skaith is not one of them, comparatively. So I'm going to go with this Spite Revenant, and he's just going to continue his endless quest to run away and avoid being shot by a wizard. That's him done.
All right. Let's go with this Griff Crow.
Yep. I have maximum faith my Spite Revenant will survive, hopefully.
Yeah. I mean, I was thinking I'm either leaving it and just not worrying about it at all.
Yep.
Because, I mean, if this guy comes into here, it's going to be annoying, but I can deal with it. Yeah. So let's just try and remove some bodies off the board.
Yep. Oh no.
I mean, I'll do.
I'm down to 1.
And same again.
I'll tank it.
Cool.
I believe.
Just need 4. No.
I die with style.
I mean, he can roll. He can roll dice.
He can roll dice. He's the best boy. That's what he is. See, I am going to be quite annoying. I am going to just run up here and engage you and then punch you.
Yeah.
3 dice.
That's fair.
Hitting on 5s. It's not a good profile. Do you wish to react?
No.
Bada-bish. We can't roll dice, so he missed.
What's going to be? Oh, all you guys have got 20 odd health. That's cool.
All my buildiest guys, apart from this one guy, have the treasures.
Apart from up there.
Apart from the perpetual coward.
Yeah, he's doing his job.
Yeah, he's running away.
So I'll spend the double and give him +1 speed and +1 strength.
Okay.
I think that's right.
Yep. You also
Or if not, at least +1.
He gets a
I don't
memorial
think he
token as well. So we'll give him, we'll give him renown. So he's extra good at turning up abilities now.
And then have a swing.
Go for it. Hitting on 3s, I imagine.
Ooh, 8.
I'm down 2. Okay. I'll go with Skaith. I don't think Skaith needs to necessarily run away just yet. He's going to throw 2 spears into this prosecutor.
Yep.
Hang on 4s. Isn't too shabby. I'll throw 1 spear, see how it goes, and I'll maybe run away. So spear number 1. Yeah. Legend. That's 7 damage.
Pretty good. Yeah.
Oh, so you were crit away from death. It'd be rude not to throw another spear at you, I think, at this point. I will throw another. I will throw another spear at you. Can Skaith do anything ability-wise? Nope. So we'll throw a spear. Huzzah! That's 4. We almost got you.
Almost.
Just about. That's Skaith done.
Okay. Well, in that case, then I should probably go with this lad.
Yep.
And have a swing over here.
I will use Vengeful Spites. So if I get hit, I will die.
So he's going down anyway. No, that's not how that works.
I take 6. I think I'm dead.
Damage. And I'm dead as well.
We both die. Oh no. Anslin. She did fine. She punched the prosecutor and shot a reclusian for good damage.
Yeah.
She did fine.
I suppose I should have. I suppose I should have teleported away and then shot you twice with the ranged attack. In hindsight, that's probably what I should have done.
Maybe. Do you want to do that instead?
No, it's fine. I've done. I don't mind it now.
Okay.
Because I've spent one of those double.
Ilthari will go. And it's because I'm losing guys. I've lost 2 guys now, and I've killed nothing. Well, I've killed 1 guy, but
yeah. But I'm not killing you fast enough.
No.
I need that final turn. But the problem is, I've only got 3-4 guys that can carry treasure.
That's true. That's true.
And then nowhere near treasure is the problem.
Yes. I'm with Ilthara down here. I'll shoot at this Griff Crow for a bit of fun.
Yep.
See what happens. Hit on 4s with 2 shots. Pew pew. A 6. Revenge for the Spike Revenant. And that's her done.
Double move that, lad.
Okie dokie. Let's get some of these trees mobilizing. Bring out the big guns to try and defend the little guy. Well, the comparatively little guy.
Yeah.
This poor guy. This poor tree revenant.
Okay. I mean, he's doing his job, but right. So that's 9. Let me just. I don't know what range he's got. Oh yeah, it is only one range. It is only a 1-inch range. I always keep on thinking they should have a 2-inch melee range because of that massive spear for some weird reason.
It's the world's shortest spear.
Yeah. Right, and then have a swing.
Yeah, hit once and I die. I'm only toughness 3, so I think it's pretty likely. He almost lived.
Yeah, I was going to say, I saw the double 1, so no, it's not what I needed.
That's the Revenant down. So I've got 5 guys left alive, but all 5 are holding a treasure, so...
That's the problem that I'm having.
It could be worse. Yeah, we're walking into Wizard Bloodfire, but let's move up this Kernoth Hunter to further defend Skaith the Huntsman. Just a wall of trees. Over to you. And I'm out, guys. So it's all you now.
Let's move 4. And I'll spend the double for 5.
Yep. Oh no.
And let's try and roll a double 6 on that lad.
Not the Spite Revenant. Hit on 3s. That's 1 6.
I mean, 1. It's 1.
She's down to 4. He's hurting.
Actually, a hit. A crit and a hit is actually 10 damage.
Your crit 7? What? That's crazy. I love it.
That's awesome.
He poured all of his lost wounds into that crit. That's kind of spicy. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
So almost died. But I take an extra point of damage. And that's 3, so I'm on death's door now. End of the turn, I score another cheeky 5 points.
Yeah. And only another 1 for me.
Going final turn.
Yeah.
Habadoosh. Double and 2 singles, 1 small.
Quad and 2 singles.
That's scary.
I don't even know what I can do with a quad, to be honest. I think it's just rampage.
Maybe. I think your quad's locked to the big sort of like the griffin riding thing. I think has your quad.
Yeah, I'm just tempted just to take one of them just so I can paint it up.
It's a nice
Give
model.
me a reason to paint it.
Yeah.
So I did make a list with one. Just because.
Yeah. I got a 3 on the roll off. You have initiative.
All right then. I'll make a double.
I will. Make a double 3. And I'll make a single, so I'll take initiative, I guess.
Yep.
Right, I'll go with this. The Spite Revenant. He's going to run away some more.
Yep, that's fair.
He'll then use Draw from the Spirit Song to heal 4. with that double fall I've got in there. So he's back up to 7.
cheeky.
Which means he'll survive 2 hits, but he won't survive a single crit. But we'll see what happens. That's him done.
I mean, let's go for it, I suppose.
He's on his way.
What's 10? Oh, he's just out of. All right. And then let's have a go.
Fire away. A single 6 will do it.
No, he's not.
He's on 1.
I'll lose him on 1.
He lives for now.
Irritating, but fair. Then feel like I need to just spend the quad. Because that is at least one. It's about the only one I can easily get off you.
Yeah, because you just teleport back there and just like nab it, can't you?
Yeah. No, let's not engage you. That's a terrible idea. Let's just move forward and blast him again.
A cheeky wizard bolt. I'll do it.
Oh, good.
Explode. Let's like plonk it here or something. There we go. Kaboom. And another poor tree.
Only the small ones, though. I haven't done anything against the big ones yet.
That's true. I'll go Skaith the Huntsman. I think Skaith is going to throw 2 spears into this Reclusion. He's done good work so far at doing damage, so...
He can carry on.
We'll see if he continues. So we're doing 5s. So it's not too reliable, but you never know. First shot. It was a bit of a whiff. It wasn't the best result, not going to lie. We'll try again, though. We're dedicated. That's 5 damage. I'll take it. That's Skaith done.
So, how do I kill you and somehow collect all of the treasure? Well, I guess I'll spend the double and teleport.
Yep.
Need to be over here somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Where's 3 of that? Yep, 3? No, or 3 on him. Either one.
Ah, you're fine, yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. And then let's just have a shot at this lad.
Yep.
Because reasons. Here now, I'm guessing on 5s.
4. He's only tough as 4.
Tough? Ah.
You've got lots of wounds, but our toughness is quite low.
Mighty 2.
Mighty 2. Is that on the scythe?
Yeah, we'll go for that go.
Oh, bonk. Power 30.
And then I'll pick up the treasure and fly 10. Probably actually.
When you pick up a treasure, your movement gets reduced by 2 and you lose fly.
Uh-huh. So I'm guessing then I've kind of just got to go there.
Yeah, and you can fly towards the corner. Like move towards the corner afterwards.
Yeah.
I definitely can't get because I've only got a threat range of 5, so... Or 6, sorry. So like, I can't actually get to you from there. Ilthari could shoot, I guess, but like, it's unlikely to actually...
Yeah, and then quad 6 maybe.
Yeah.
I think that's about the best I've got. It's about the best I can do, I think.
Okay. I guess I might as well go to Ilthari and shoot you and see if I get quad 6.
Yep.
Oh, off Matt just commented regarding the Bureau Dad, regarding the question about people bringing lists to events, strength of the list will only actually get you so far. Though there are quite a few cookie cutout lists that are real obvious when someone has taken them. Yeah, that's fair. I think
yes, like if you go into a tournament, then you do kind of want to take a good list.
Yeah.
But yes, I mean I'm taking these because they're on my paint table and I think they're cool. But yeah. I've also then tried to make like the best list I can make of what I've got.
Yeah. I think as well, like I think you're spot on as well. It's like I think Firelax has said similar things in the past where a good list really will only get you so far. Different lists will vibe with different people regardless of how good that list is. For example, Firelax simply can't play horde lists. He's a fantastic player, but he just doesn't gel well with hordes, which is why he tends to play more elite lists. And I imagine off meta is kind of the opposite, where he thrives with larger warbands, but I suspect may struggle comparatively with smaller ones. So it's all player dependent as well. At the end of the day.
I mean, the other thing, if you don't sort of play very much either, then yes, I've never thought that there's anything wrong with looking at other people's lists and going, that's a really strong list, that won a tournament recently, I'll take it.
Yeah.
But as you say, like it's not necessarily going to win you the game, but it might just win you a game.
Yeah.
It's not going to win you the tournament, but it might win you a game.
Yeah, and there's plenty of content online, like written or video format to help people build a strong meta list anyway. Like it's all, I make those videos. Most people make those videos who make videos for Warcry. And it's a, taking meta lists isn't necessarily a thing to be ashamed of or to be shamed for. You know what I mean? It is what it is, and it's all fun at the end of the day. I think one of the best parts about Warcry, I can't say for all events, but from what I've heard of like Malifaux events and definitely for Warcry events, is that games are just fun, right? Like there isn't this environment of toxic competitiveness. It's much more of a chill vibe I've found from most of my games.
Oh, definitely.
Which is a great strength to have, because it means more people get to play, or can play a game of competitive Warcry events and leave having a good time regardless of the outcome. I'm going to double shot with Ulthari and roll 4 6s. Just to no. Not even a single 6? Terrible. That's 3 damage.
Still 3 damage?
Yeah, it's a wizard.
Oh, it's a wizard. Ah.
Yes, spooky, scary wizard.
I was going to say that. But still pretty good. Alright. Let's just go aggression. I mean, I've got nothing to lose at this point. And let's go for this guy.
Not Skaith.
And I mean, even quad 6s won't. Toughness 4?
Yeah, T4, yeah.
So yeah, even quad 6s isn't still going to kill, but
Oh no.
Just 3.
I am down to 19. I guess I'll go with the Kenneth Huntmaster and we'll finally swing this giant freaking scythe that I've bought instead of teleporting away and being a bit cowardly. Your toughness 6, so you're on 4s, which isn't ideal. I guess I'll use a double on Onslaught. Why not?
Yep.
Do you want to try and shut that down if you're in range?
No, I'm not going to be in range.
It's a shame. So it's 5 days hitting on 4s. Big old scythe. Go. That's only 6. It's not the best start.
For now.
Second swing of the big old scythe.
Down to 4 though, so.
I did 3.
Okay.
That was
I
terrible.
mean, 1. That was bad.
I
I
can't
don't think it's
complain.
going to matter very much, but it was bad.
I can't complain. The game has went quite heavily in my favour, so whiffing the
I'm
scythe,
guessing
it's all
one
fine.
inch. Okay. Right. He's just going to double run and just park himself there. Might be able to keep my one dude alive.
You definitely can,
Just out of
because
spite.
I can't get to him. I don't have like attack and like move again on kill. So I'm going to spitefully just beat that dog to death. How dare you? I'll even use an onslaught to go to 10 attacks and just swing 10 times
and just go for it.
There you go. A good old 15 damage or something. Gosh darn dog. Get out of here.
Double run. He's missing out.
He's on his way. That's the end of the game. So you score 6 points at the end for having 2 objectives. And I think I scored 9.
Yeah, sounds about right. No, more than that.
There's only 5.
You got 4.
I have 4. There's 6.
Is it 3 apiece?
Yeah, there's 6 in this mission, isn't there? There's only 5.
Yeah.
There you go. That was a. It was a cheeky game, I'll say.
Well, once again, I've been tabled.
The hunter teleporting over here.
That's
twacking your thing and teleporting was kind of mean. And
yes, that was pretty much my plan with my teleporting guys. So I can't complain about it. But yeah, that's exactly how it should go.
I think as well, getting both in the middle and them both managing to escape because that like net then flee. That net was because if you'd
even without the net, I don't think I'd have managed to sort of get too far into you.
So Skaith was just here, and if you engage me, I can't run away, right? So if you weren't netted, you could have engaged Skaith, and you would have been just beaten to death over time, which would have been not good. So the net going off was huge, and that teleport was huge. And then I just had 5 guys with treasures in this one corner, and you had to walk the whole way. It's like I don't like treasure missions. Like this treasure mission in particular is meant to sort of like be the gold standard for them by adding in that extra layer of well, you've got to do an action to pick it up. So it slows you down. You can't like just bum rush an objective. You absolutely can. It always ends up the same way. You take as like more than half. You then castle in a corner and you win. And when you have teleports on battle trait, teleports on basic guys, speed, it's just kind of shitty. And of course you could have done that to me as well, but I managed to pull it off first, right? So and of course your teleporters just weren't on the board turn 1.
No.
The horror.
I mean, that was sort of the last game I had. I think it was like a similar battle group.
Yeah.
That seemed alright. But yeah, I mean, for this one, I really needed sort of these guys on first.
Yeah, because you could have immediately teleported to my thing and just like flew 7 or whatever.
Where's the deployment? Because if he was sort of over here.
Yeah.
I could have. Oh no, I suppose I can't. I can at least fly over here, grab one, and then teleport. Or walk up there, grab one, teleport, do something.
Yeah, or teleport here, activate, then move 8 back towards this deployment or whatever, or this one, so, wherever your deployment's.
Well, I think they've got to be. I think it's got to be more than 3 away from an objective.
Right, so you couldn't teleport onto one. Right, yeah.
No.
Okay, that's a bit trickier, I guess.
Remove this. Set them up. Battlefield floor. Oh no, 5 inches away from all enemies.
Oh yeah, so you can absolutely just teleport on an objective.
Oh yeah. Oh, I for some reason thought that you got to be 3 inches away from an objective for some weird reason.
Is that not your battle trait for that?
Oh, it could be, yes.
Yeah.
Which I don't actually know if I can use the battle trait because it doesn't have the symbol on it.
I believe it was FAQ, so you could.
Oh, you know what? It might have been. I just might have not read the FAQ, to be honest.
You know, I think you actually. I believe Ruination can use the battle trait to teleport.
Yeah.
No,
that's right. Because just because I've just sort of read it off Warcry, and I thought actually the symbol's not there. It was something I keep on meaning to look into, but
yeah, no, I'm pretty sure they can. I think this game could have went aggressively in your favor based on the turn 1 deployments. Had you had a prosecutor on the board turn 1, it would have been rather nightmarish.
Yeah.
With you just being able to control the center or control one of my objectives and just skedaddle before I could do anything about it. Which I also try to do to you on turn 1 before you moved the crew over here, which unintentionally scarpered the plan. But yeah, having a teleport just there to twack objectives and run away, it's so powerful. It basically wins treasure missions. If you know there's a treasure mission in the pack at an event, have a teleport if you can. You will have such a huge advantage into most things. It's crazy. But that was a funky game regardless.
It was, yeah. Well, I would say it was good. I mean, it was a good learning game. I certainly learned sort of what I need to do with this list a bit more.
Yeah, I think weirdly as well, I didn't use many abilities that game because I didn't use a single. I think I used one ability on turn 3, I think. It was mostly rushes and free teleport and then onslaught at the end, right? Like I didn't really use that many abilities. So your ability to shut down didn't really come into play either.
No.
But realizing this guy's got a 3/7, that was a trip because that makes him incredibly sort of, good at killing.
A hit and a crit is killing most chaff.
It's kind of spicy. He's surprisingly good for just popping off chaff. His only issue, of course, is that he's a movement 4 Stormcast wizard, so he's a little bit on the slow side. But I think
he should probably be the one I need to use the battle trait on and get him a bit closer. Just turn 2, just bonk him somewhere, and hopefully just cast wizard bolts out of his nostrils.
Yeah, or get a Reclusian, like just teleporting down and just being ready to smash face. Because because you teleport in before they deploy. So theoretically, into a weaker deployment group, you could teleport into their deployment group before they deploy. Then they deploy, and then you smash the face in, like immediately.
Yeah.
So there's some sneaky players with teleporting Reclusians. But no, it was a funky time.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Yeah, man. I'll catch you in a bit.
Yeah. Cheers.
There we go. So that was Rick. Excellent game as per. There's been yeah. Cannot talk today. There's been more stuff. Speaking of funky, remind me, did we theory craft a funky unmade list a few weeks back? I've managed to snag them. I believe we actually did. I will get Warcry back up. And we'll get some rather snazzy unmaiden going before we call it a night on the stream. Let's get some unmade going. So if we go over to OBS. Aha! Nailed it. So unmade. Bada bush. Also, Practical Rice, you can still run meta lists and still be a chill guy. You absolutely can. Absolutely can. I said earlier in the stream now, initially commented on it, I think, is that even taking meta lists, this is one of those things where like it's, I think in other games like net listing or like net decking in like a card game or something is often shunned, like, looked down upon. But frankly, I've never understood why. And you can absolutely like net list or whatever. There's plenty of content out there. Me, Off Meta, Dan, 3 Heroes 1 Chaff, if they're still going, all do, you know, some degree of list building in our videos. And like, it is what it is. There's plenty of content out there. There's plenty of community-based resources out there to help you build a list. And there's no shame in turning to that, to, you know, understand how your faction works, understanding how to get the most out of a unit or a set of units. So you want to go a solid start. At the end of the day, you'll have to like still learn the warband. Nothing's going to auto win anything. I think in Warcry, I think Off Meta was saying you've got to have there's a degree of player skill involved in anything. So and you know, a meta list doesn't necessarily mean you're an unchill guy. I like to think I'm a fairly chill guy, and I think so. Most of the things I bring are fairly meta-ish, whether intentional or not. But onto Unmade. Unmade are great. I love Unmade. That's such a fun time. Namely, Shed Pain's great, and I believe there was a. Was the theory craft was combining Barbed Strike and Lethal Injection. I think it was. I think someone mentioned. But like, if you take like, you know, I'm sure you can like fit in like 3 blissful ones. If you want to be kind of weird with it, like 3 blissful ones is a bunch of flail guys. There you go. It's exactly 1,000. If you wanted to go absolutely bonkers with, you know, a fairly bland list, 3 blissful ones and a bunch of flails, you're good to go. It's 8 man, it'll do fine. I think the secret sauce is like a blissful one, and then you can't be chill if you bring a Chimera. Ooh, maybe not. You can be chill if you bring a Chimera. No, you can be chill if you bring a Hell Pit Abomination with Cypher Lords, though. You are in fact the most chill person. And yeah, I think with the Chimera in particular, is that if you look at those stats and go, man, that's a lot of fun. I think there's definitely an argument to be had that you may not be as chill as you claim. Not that I mind. I find Chimeras to be a lot of fun to play against. Now, prefacing that statement with every time I've ever fought a monster, I have been playing Vulcan Flameseekers, right? And Vulcan Flameseekers are so good at killing monsters, it's not even funny. So I've never had any issues killing Chimeras. I've had Scale Breakers kill Chimeras. It's fine. This is what it is. So, you know, my my anecdotal evidence that all monsters are fine because Vulcan Flameseekers exist may not be the best stance to have or to listen to. The Witherlord. I was brain farting at who he was. Witherlord. Other guys. I quite enjoy the Joyous one. He has a pretty cool... The Flaying Frenzy isn't a bad AoE ability. 3 inches on a 5+. You're doing the dice value damage. I don't mind squeezing 1 in. Plus the 15 wounds isn't too bad. And his actual profile's not bad. Ascended ones also aren't too shabby. The only issue is that they're quite squishy. So it might be a case of skipping them. I cannot remember their ability. Chain Garrote. It's a range attack. That's not good. Chain Garrote's not really worth thinking about. So off we did that. And then squeezed in some more flails. maybe a couple of pole arms. Because the 1/4 is quite nice. Ephelim. Let's have a look. Ephelim fits into anything. Here's the trick. Ephelim fits into everything. Back to unmade. Add in some flails for good measure. Ooh, we can't get a 9. I have taken a joyous one, so I think like realistically you might drop the joyous one and take some more flails. Right, drop the joyous one. Maybe take a flame spooler. Maybe take heck, let's drop him and we'll take an extra flail and we'll take a what's he called? Spawn Maw. Spawn Maw leaves us with 30 points left over, which is absolutely fine. So how I would do this? If you want more points, drop Spawn Maw and take a Flame Spooler. You're good to go. So this list is kind of spicy. So for blessings, it's either +1 strength on Ephelim and the Witherlord, which will take you to strength 5 range, strength 5 melee. Or if you wanted to get a little bit weird, it'd be like +1 damage on the blissful one. That's kind of weird. Or +1, maybe +1 crit on him, then +1 strength on Ephelim. I think that the best call is probably either strength on blissful one and Witherlord, or strength on Ephelim Witherlord, and then you're good to go. You've got 3 pretty powerful damage pieces with Ephelim's range. The Witherlord's melee being a 4/5, 3/5 is really good. And then the blissful one is a really solid mobility piece. 5/4/2/6 is, as I've said many times before, my favorite profile in the whole game. You find this on things like Lost Fur Lane, and it will either do nothing or it will destroy everything. Like, it's the just roll 6s profile, and when it pops off, right? Like 6 damage is nothing to scoff at when it lands. Spawn Maw is like your secondary damage threat. Spawn Maw can be on a triple, buff his attacks, his strength, and whatever. I think it's crit to silly levels, and he just devours a person. Ephelim can revive him. You have 3 options to teleport with: Kindlefinger, Apotrax, and Spawn Maw being great options for teleportation. Apotrax can also pull people, ideally into the Witherlord, ideally into the blissful one, just for maximum damage output. And then you have the Awakened one with flails. They will do what's it called? Where do you live? There are so many doubles. Holy shit! There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 7 doubles in this list. It's hilarious. So Barb Strike. So you have to land. So you have to score a hit or a crit with your flails. So you've got 3 attacks. It can also be, it's across the entire activation. So you could have up to 6 attacks. Land a single hit. They're -1 toughness, and then you maybe, if you have the dice, maybe swing a second time with somebody else, -2 toughness. You then wander in with that lethal injection play. They're at -1, -2 toughness. Inject them, kaboom, blow them up for massive damage. It's kind of wild. The lethal injection is just insane. You also have access to a Shed Pain, which is fantastic. You have access to Nightmarish Visage for nets. You have 1, 2, 3, 4 nets in this list, which is very good. Yeah, I think as a all-around package, as an unmade list, Blissful one, Witherlord, Ephelim, Spawn Maw, Apotrax, Kindlefinger, 3 flails is a toolbox of wonders with a really fun gimmick. I think if the Witherlord's ability to lethal inject is so fun, and his stat line is so solid at such a reasonable price, that he is an endlessly fun gimmick to run with. Could this list top an event? I don't know. I don't think so. Maybe not. Event topping lists are pretty hardcore. You have so many tricks in this list that if it's very objective focused, maybe. You can do all kinds of things to dance around people. Ephelim is unknowable. It's one of those things where Ephelim overloads your opponent's ability to comprehend where you are going to go and like where you're going to be next. Is teleport displacing whilst also moving two models at once, and you can do this multiple times in a single turn across multiple models over massive distances. The things you can do with Ephelim are vast. They're incredibly hard to keep track of for your opponent. They're very hard to keep track of for you to find the best place with Ephelim. It is a toolbox of endless wonders. So I think this list could be pretty spicy and a whole lot of fun to run. And of course, you're running with like some really underrepresented things in Warcry, right? Like Rotmire Creed don't see play in the competitive scene anymore. Unmade don't see play. They've seen play like once at Warhammer World. I think they actually won. They actually won that. But I think they had a Chimera in there, which kind of makes up for it, I guess. So the Unmade aren't seen very often. You don't see the Rotmire Creed very often. And Ephelim is a fairly competitive pick, but even Ephelim isn't like always seen because of its power is so unusual that you don't often see Ephelims, even though they are widely considered to be very powerful. So I think this is quite a fun list. I think you would see this. If you were to take this, you would get some people going like, I think it would raise some eyebrows in the hot damn, that's a spicy list category, if that makes sense. So it's a lot of fun. That was it. Thanks. I'm glad that we found it. Lol, someone more skilled than me can run this. Ephelim is so much fun. I would recommend, if you've got TTS, I would recommend dabbling with this in TTS. It's a lot of fun. Grok is terrifying with Ephelim. Grok is terrifying with Ephelim. That is, you are 100% correct. There are some people who can properly just melt your mind with Ephelim players. I am not one of them, but they do exist. Grok is one of them. It's just Phylax skewing the numbers. So is Phylax skewing the numbers. But yeah, I think I'll call the stream there. It's been a good old 3 hours. We've had a good old now. We've talked about a whole bunch of things, from Vulcan Flameseekers to Nighthaunt to what else was there? Unmade, among many other things that I've forgotten about. Had a fantastic game with Rick. Thank you to Rick once again for that great game. Got some... Grok is just scary in general. Grok is terrifying. Grok's such a good player. He is such a good player. He has whooped my ass far more times than I have managed to narrowly win against him, shall we say. Grok is very, very good. But yes, it's been a great stream. Thank you to everybody who joined in. Thank you to Rick for that fantastic game. That's even more practice for Sylvaneth, and got to get a cheeky objective treasure mission practice in, which is always nice and fun. And I believe there is 2 more streams before Warcry in the West. I will once again post the actual link to buy tickets. There were 2 tickets left last time I checked to Warcry in the West. It's in Bristol on November the 16th, and it's ran by friend of the channel and community legend Andy. So if you can make it, if you're in or around Bristol in the UK, give it a gander, pop on down. I'm going, Off Meta's going, Phylax is going, and of course Alex from Long Run Hobbies And Storm the South is going. I imagine he's also bringing some of the Southampton lads as well. So it should be a really fun event, and hopefully I will see you there. Until next time, everybody. Ta-ra.